Welcome back to the Malaysia Money Matters Show. It's the 21st of November 25. Today, we're going to be filtering through all the noise, all the headlines, to really figure out what's impacting your wallet. And we're starting with some pretty concerning news for one major company. We're talking about PPB Group.
We are, and specifically it's about their big associate, Wilmar International. PPB holds about an 18.8% stake in them. And Wilmar just got hit with a huge fraud verdict in China.
A huge one. How big are we talking?
The subsidiary there was found jointly liable for, get this, RM 1.1 billion in compensation.
Wow. 1.1 billion.
Exactly. And the really critical part for you as an investor is that PPB gets almost 75% of its earnings from that one stake in Wilmar.
That's 75%. That is a massive dependency. So I'm guessing the market reacted pretty quickly.
Oh, immediately. PTB shares dropped almost 4%. I mean, Wilmar is appealing, but that kind of uncertainty, it just spooks investors.
Yeah, you can see why. Okay, so from a legal headwind for PPB, let's look at some strong tailwinds in another sector, construction.
Right, a much brighter spot. Sunway Construction is just, well, it's riding that data center boom.
They really are. Their third quarter net profit leaped 80%.
An 80% jump.
Yeah, to RM 83.78 million. It just shows they really know how to execute on these complex projects. I think they've delivered over 144 megawatts of data center capacity already.
And that success is flowing right back to the shareholders. They've declared a big dividend payout, 29.25 sen per share.
And that includes a special dividend, right?
A maiden special dividend of 23 sen. So a really significant cash windfall for investors.
Okay, but let me ask you this. With something like data centers, it feels very cyclical, you know? Is a massive special dividend like that sustainable? Or is this more of a one-off payment while the boom lasts?
It's most likely tied to this current peak performance. But it's a very nice reward for shareholders in the meantime.
Fair enough. Okay, let's pivot from construction and look at the financial sector. A FinBank is making a move.
That's right. They're acquiring Fame Asset Management. It's a RM 50 million deal, all in cash.
And the timing is important here, isn't it? Their last quarter wasn't exactly stellar.
Not at all. Their earnings slipped a bit. Weaker net interest income, higher impairment allowances. You know, the usual pressures.
So this acquisition, it's a strategic move out of necessity then?
I think so. It's designed to speed up their goal of becoming a universal bank. It diversifies their income, gets them more of that non-interest revenue, and moves them away from just traditional lending risks.
Right. And speaking of strategy and tech, we have a new IPO filing, Skychip.
Yes, they've filed for a main market listing. And what's interesting is they're earmarking 60% of the funds for R&D.
60%. So this is really backing Malaysia's push to move up the value chain in IC design.
That's the idea. But, and this is a huge but, there is massive geopolitical risk here.
Let me guess. China and Taiwan.
You got it. Nearly 90% of the revenue in the last financial year came from those two markets.
Wow. So if trade tensions escalate, their entire business model is, well, it's under threat.
It could be, yeah.
Okay, well, speaking of those global tech tensions, we actually got some good news this week, which helped local stocks.
We did. The Bursa Malaysia Technology Index snapped a 7-day losing streak. It was up almost 2%.
What drove that?
It was all international. First, U.S. chipmaker Nvidia delivered an unbelievably good forecast. They're guiding for $65 billion in sales next quarter.
$65 billion. That just calms all those fears about an AI spending bubble, doesn't it?
Exactly. And on top of that, U.S. officials signaled a potential delay on some of those promised semiconductor tariffs. So it was a double dose of good news for the entire supply chain here.
I see. Okay, let's shift from tech to commodities. There's a volatile situation in Indonesia affecting palm oil.
A really big one. You have thousands of people protesting in Riau province.
And this is about the government taking over plantations.
Yes. Plantations that were running illegally in forest areas. The state has taken over about 3.7 million hectares.
3.7 million. And that's an enormous area of land.
It is. And the operation could seriously disrupt global palm oil supplies. It really highlights the huge land dispute issues that Indonesia, the world's biggest producer, is facing.
Okay, and to wrap up, let's bring it back home to governance reform, right here in Kuala Lumpur.
Right. Some backbench members of parliament have proposed a bill to reform how City Hall, or BBKL, is governed. They want to introduce a councillor system.
Why is that significant?
Because right now, DBKL is the only local authority in the entire country that doesn't have a councillor system. Power is very, very centralized with the mayor.
So this is basically a push for more accountability.
Exactly. Greater democratic representation, more transparency in how the city is run.
So when you put all these pieces together,
Hmm.
what should you be thinking about? I mean, consider how connected all of this is. That relentless global demand for AI chips, fueled by Nvidia's optimism, is directly reshaping construction and tech IPOs right here.
Absolutely. The big question is which of our local companies can navigate the geopolitical risks and capture that next wave of investment?
The flow of global capital into AI and data infrastructure,
Yeah,
that seems to be the macro trend dictating everything right now.
it really is.
If you enjoyed this deep dive into what matters for the Malaysian market, please make sure you subscribe to the Malaysia Money Matters podcast. Hey there, thanks for tuning in. If you would like a deeper dive into all the investment opportunities from today's news, subscribe to my newsletter at moneymatters.substack.com. I will be sharing a deeper analysis of the key investment opportunities from today's news, including what makes these opportunities stand out and how they fit into the broader market trends. By subscribing to the Malaysia Money Matters newsletter, you will also get exclusive insights on my watch list and portfolio and fundamental reports on Malaysian listed companies.